Okay, so today I'm here to help fix your gameplay. I assume if you're watching this video, you're having some troubles. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We're going to do one of my classic Jamboo gameplay walkthrough videos, which you guys loved last year. So I'm looking forward to doing another one of these on the new game. Do me a favour, if you are new, you can subscribe, leave a like on the video. It helps the channel out. If you are new here, the channel essentially is here to help you guys get better at the game. So if you struggle with FIFA or FC now, as it is called, this is the place to be. You're going to improve for free. Just subscribe and let's get into the video, guys. Hope you enjoy. If you need the cheapest FC 25 coins to build your super team, then check out MMOEXP by clicking the link down below and use code JAMBOO for 5% off. Okay, so we're going into the game, and like normal, I'm going to give you guys the thought process behind everything we're doing. If you have any questions, let me know. Obviously, this is a learning process, even for me. I'm by no means at the minute an expert at the game. It's not possible, you know, after the time that the game's been out. There's just not been long enough. But we'll see, hopefully. Oh no, we're not going to see our opponent's team. But anyway, controller inputs in the top right. I'm going to explain everything that I am doing. I try and build up a little bit slow in this game. One thing you are going to find is, you know, the passing can be very inconsistent. So if you're messing around with your centre-backs and stuff like that, you just are going to get caught out. We're using L1 sprint boost there with Nico Williams. I try and get the ball into these areas, recycle it to the edge of the box, and then try and find a gap from there. So here I'm looking for Neymar. We're going for that driven pass. Little step over boost there into the R1. Dribbling. And that is unlucky. Finishing I found to be very inconsistent. Part of that, of course, might be because I'm just not using cards that have that elite sort of finishing at the moment. Even Neymar, you know, his shooting and stuff's been nerfed into the ground. But we're using a offside trap here now, which is double tap or up on the D-pad rather than down on the D-pad, which it used to be. Here with Pedri, a bit of R1 dribbling, recycle the ball because there's nothing on, and I'm using two sort of attacking centre mids, which works very well. Get the ball into a decent position, and again another chance goes wasting, but we're pinning our opponent in. More offside traps here. I'm sort of playing some similar principles as to what I was last year, with a few differences, because I mean, you've just got to be so careful playing out the back, at least at this point, with these players on this game, because the amount of times I'll lose the ball through what I feel is no fault of my own, like, is absolutely crazy. Good save from the keeper here. We're using the R1 second man press whilst marking the pass manually towards the edge of the box. The opponent's done well there. Second man press has done well for us. Kanate has absolutely sold a dream, but good recovery on that second man press. And here, this is where I find, you see how having Odegaard, I'm able to attempt, or I mean, I've made an absolute meal out of it, but attempt to play out the back. But you see even there, like Odegaard on his dribbling, like, it just feels like no one can dribble. So if Odegaard can't dribble, imagine what it's like trying to get out of trouble with like Declan Rice or something. Like, it just feels impossible at the moment. It's really hard to play out the back. I feel like the dribbling is super stiff. But again here, offside trapping, trying to give the opponent the least amount of possible space. We'll track the run down the line just to make sure he can't get that pass. And we're playing decent standard of opponents most games in this division. We find the through ball. Use an L1 sprint boost there with Darwin Núñez. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know whether you guys are finding the same, but a lot of these chances that I feel should just be going just aren't going. I have tried greening shots and stuff as well, and it still just seems pretty inconsistent. Got to be careful here because our defence is just like randomly falling apart, which is something else that I've noticed on this game. Got to mark the pass to the edge of the box. Good offside trap as well there. We'll find the ball to Neymar because he's our most dangerous player by a country mile. Play the through ball over the top. Really nice play there. We've done super well. Trivela finish. And we do find the back of the net. That is 1-0. But you can see there, you can transition quite quickly. You know, if you go from defence to attack, add in some, you know, over the top or normal through balls or whatever, you can transition quite well. So here I'm sending my players on runs. We try and find that ball in, take our time, and that is good defending from the opponent. He stood us up well there. Another offside trap. just to try and reduce that space in behind. But you see there, you can win the ball so well just by using that second man press. And here is where you have to be careful. And the reason I go back there, even though it seems really ratty, is because if you try and dribble your way or do something fancy out the back, you just seem to get punished in this game, as we nearly did there. You know, we lose the ball with our fullback and it just feels really hard to recover. So, you know, even with these cross-field passes, which were so prevalent last year, you see how slow they seem to be now. Like, you really can get caught out. It's hard to play around the back, at least with the players, you know, that I'm using at the moment. So you really do have to take your time. Good dribble in there. Get the ball into our striker, who is an absolute donkey up front. I can't lie. His dribbling is painful to watch. Get the ball into our cam, Neymar. And that's the one thing I would suggest at the minute. If you can get some sort of elite dribbler to play in that cam position, it makes the world of difference. You see here Neymar, he's just on another level to like every other player on the pitch. If you use that R1 dribbling and a bit of left stick, you know, you're able to make up spaces and gaps and actually force things to happen. Here again, you know, take our time, get the ball into our midfielder. Little player lock here, just change the angle. Elastico, just to, again, change that little angle. Fizz the ball back into our cam. R1 dribbling. And there we find the back of the net. That is going to be 3-0. But you can see the way we're attacking, you know, the driven pass, very important, as it was last year from certain angles. And it's what I tend to do. We use this player lock, another driven pass, L1 sprint boost, open up the angle onto our favoured foot, and a finesse into the back of the net there. So you can see that it's working very well. Offside trap again, raise the line, don't give any easy space in behind, and again it does win us that ball back. Take our time, little elastico past the opponent, another driven pass, and if we have a better striker there, you know, if that's Mbappe on the end of that, it's probably 5-0. But again, offside trap, just not enabling him to have anything easy. Makes the world of difference. You see how our team is, you know, they're just, the line is getting raised and our opponent has nothing on. Like, our opponent cannot breathe right now, and that is what you want. So looking for a potential cutback here, nothing on, so we're going to recycle to the edge. Unlucky. If you have good attacking centre mids like I do, you know, with Odegaard and Pedri, it can make things a lot easier. That corner was absolutely tragic. Tried to make something happen with it, but it didn't quite work out. Oh, you cannot blow the whistle there. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, good half. You know, we've scored a lot of goals. The general premise is you don't want to overcomplicate things in the attack. Because like I say, the dribbling, it's just... I mean, I don't know what they've done. I'm really hoping it's because we're not using the best players. But it just feels so stiff. You guys will have to let me know if it's the same. So you don't want to overcomplicate things in the attack or the defence or anywhere on the pitch for that matter. Because if you try and do something really technical, it just doesn't seem to work. But the offside trap there again has caught him out. I feel like it's really important. And it helps a lot because the dribbling is so difficult for everybody at the minute. You know, if you can squeeze your opponent and have a good press, it's an absolute nightmare, you know, for them to be able to play out of it. We do get the ball into our striker there, loses it because he cannot move, he's just stiff. But again, offside traps, dragging our cam back here just to help out. R1 for that second man press, and we've got to track the runner down the line. Should be able to win this header back to the keeper, yes we do. And you just want to take your time on the build-up. You know, dropping the ball out like this and then actually just picking out a player seems to be the way to go. But even there, you see, it seems like we have all the time in the world and you can just get caught out. So that's one thing that, you know, is proving to be difficult at the minute. Actually playing your way out of defence, it doesn't seem to be the easiest this year. Another driven pass into our striker. Does not quite work out that time, but again, this high press, you know, working really well for us. We fizz the ball into Neymar, R1 dribbling. You see here, he's just on a different level. I really should be doing better there. That's my bad. I should have gone far post. Work a little corner routine here. I take mine short and then whip towards that back post. And I wouldn't say it's as good as last year, or at least it doesn't seem to be at the minute, but you are going to have some success, you know, by doing that. We're going to trigger some runs. Go for a little 1-2 perhaps here. Driven pass into the striker. Great touch. Going for that Trivela finish. And that is awful. This Darwin Núñez would not recommend. Would not recommend. He's an okay, like, budget starter striker. I mean, he's really holding back, you know, a lot of my attacks. Here, just being careful. I'm trying not to press the tackle button too much. You do have to at times, more so than last year I found. But I give away too many penalties and things like that when I'm spamming the tackle button. So that is something you want to really look out for. Our cam again there. It's just beautiful, you know. If you have like this shadow striker role on your cam, it just works so well, especially if you've got a player like Neymar. Like I say, the tactics will be coming out for this tomorrow. So if you've reached this point in the video, do make sure you subscribe. And if you're hearing me say this now, I'd really appreciate a like as well. Hopefully you're learning something in this live gameplay. But here again, got to be super careful. Recycle the ball when needed. Don't overcomplicate it either. You've got to take your time. And it's something that people don't like to see. You know, this slow building out the back. It's considered quite ratty. But you either play the way the game forces you to, or you're just going to be in trouble. Here, we're waiting for our striker to get into the good position. Cross was a little bit off there. We'll recycle the ball. And there, like, I've tried to turn, and it's just so unresponsive. We step in and actually press tackle that time. Lovely ball roll scoop. If you have technical players in the middle, you know, like I do, it makes things a lot easier in that build-up. I feel like at this point on this game, the last thing you want is someone clunky in your build-up. Unfortunately for me, my striker is that. But in general, you want to try and avoid it. I feel like it's very important, you know, for your midfielders to be able to offer something in the attack, because if they don't, it just feels like it's a long day for you, you know, in that build-up. This opponent is absolutely crumbled at this point, but, you know, this is somebody that would have been in the elite division last year, based on the placement they're in now, so it's not a bad player, you know, by any means. R1 dribbling, which, as you can see, still definitely has some good value, even with someone like Núñez. So with your Neymars and Mbappes, you know, those sort of players, if you can get the ball towards the edge of that box and use that R1 dribbling, that's going to be a useful tool for you. Here again, triggering players on runs. We'll wait for the run from our cam, and then we get here. You find the finish. That's a crazy save. I don't know whether he's moved his keeper there. He must have, right? Nothing really on. And even with the good dribblers, you know, you're going to find at times it just feels like they don't move. It is very weird, very weird. Lateral heel to heel there, which can be quite good, but didn't quite work out on this occasion. Offside trap again. Try and hopefully maintain our clean sheet. You know, that'd be nice. Just marking those through balls in behind. The AI will do a lot for you as well. You see even Odegaard there, like he positions himself well. Calling my winger short. Looking for the overlap now. Awful through ball. Might be because it was on Odegaard's weak foot, but I have found that in general they are just pretty inconsistent. We do win the ball back there. That's bad from the opponent. Awful touch, but it works out and we find the back of the net. So there's been a lot of goals here in this gameplay video. You know, you can see the way that I'm building up and the things that we have done in defence, you know, to shut out this opponent. This game is over. He's no longer playing, so I'm going to wrap it up there. But if you guys have any questions, you know, about things that you maybe aren't sure about, that you've seen in this video, or even, you know, just in general, please, you know, do feel free to ask. I'll get back to all of you in the comments. If you like these sort of videos and you want to learn and improve at the game, do press subscribe. I'd appreciate it. But I'll catch you guys on the next one. Best of luck, you know, in your opening days of the game. It is a learning process, so don't feel too down, you know, if you're taking some L's here and there. But I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you on the next one, and peace.